Hey everybody, it's Andrew Ainsworth. Welcome to the video. Always great to have you along. Do appreciate you using your time to watch my little videos. Before we start, if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen any of my videos, welcome to you especially. And maybe if you like the videos, hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Advertisement break over. So what are we talking about today? For those of you who've seen any of my recent videos, it's product launch time here in the UK. January 2025 is when we get all the new products, and we're going to talk today about another Ping G440 launch. Ignore this, I'm still waiting for this to be replaced. That'll come shortly from Ping. So the 430 really is, for me, it's all over. It's still available within the Ping range. You can still buy it. I won't be fitting for it anymore. I'll be moving into the G440. You could see some very good value on the new and second-hand market now on G430 as it's been replaced by the 440. So what typically happens is some retailers are still sitting on quite a lot of G430 stock. They want to get rid of that, get the G440 on the shelves and selling, so they'll often cut the price of the G430. And I've seen over here in the UK that happening quite a lot, where retailers are knocking off 50, 60. I even saw something the other day where the G430 driver was being sold at $369 at a pro shop to clear stock. So there are bargains out there. And don't get me wrong, the G430 was a fantastic range. The G440, I think Ping will say, you know, they've taken a lot of the principles of the 430 and just enhanced it. And I want to talk today about the hybrid, because in the past, I've always thought that hybrids technically don't really advance that much. You know, you could argue, well, a hybrid's a hybrid. What are you going to do to it? But when we get into the techie stuff, I want to show you what Ping have done to make this new 440 hybrid a little bit different. Stay tuned. I'll tell you all about it. Okay, now, I don't normally go into full in-depth techie specky stuff, but I think this new 440 hybrid deserves a little talk. So if you're not really interested in what Ping have done to make this club what I think is an improvement on the 430, then just advance the video on about 5-6 minutes and you'll get to the hitting bit if that's what you're interested in. But let's talk about it. So here's the G440. We'll give you some overheads so you can see what it looks like. But what they've done is they've created a new shallower and thinner face design to deliver faster ball speeds, higher peak height and a big distance with more stopping power. Each hybrid delivers different ball flights. So this is where, for me as a fitter, it's got very interesting. I'm just going to scroll down to a little graphic here which best explains it. So in the past, we've seen in the G430 range the same number of hybrids. We've got 6 hybrids here, going from a 2 hybrid all the way to a 7 hybrid. But one of the criticisms of hybrids in the past has been that they have a very heavy draw bias. And that's very true on certain makes, and Ping were certainly draw biased in previous models. They did change the hosel settings so that you could put the hybrid into a flatter setting to make it less draw bias. But what they've done this time is specifically set each club up for a certain ball flight. So in the 2 hybrid, which will attract probably the better player, because the 2 hybrid is quite low lofted. It needs a little bit of club speed to get that ball up. And as you're probably aware, top tour pros and elite professionals, elite golfers tend to like to hit the ball with fade these days. They're not that interested in hitting the draw. So this has been set to a slight fade. The 3 and the 4, which is kind of where the main stock of hybrids are sold, are set up on a straight or a neutral bias. And then as you go into the 5, 6 and 7, again, don't get too upset when I make these comments because it may not apply to you. This is a bit of a generalism. Golfers using the 6 and the 7 hybrid may be struggling a little bit with things like swing path and generally may move the ball left to right for a right-handed golfer. That's what I see a lot of, and that's now been set into quite a heavy draw set to kind of keep that ball a little bit straighter. Within this, you can still customize the setup by changing lofts and other things on the hosel setting, but I think it's very clever that they've done this. So a big change there. What else have we got? We've got this free hosel, low CG, weight savings from a new free hosel, and carbon fly wrap crown help lower the CG, centre of gravity. Basically, the more you get the centre of gravity back in the club, back here, the higher it's going to launch the ball, which is what you want with hybrids. Changed the sound a little bit, relocated to help, again, CG, so the sound's become a little bit better. High launch, fast face. We've got a high launch version for golfers with slower swing speeds, and we've also got this contoured sole design. Let's just jump in and have a quick look at the specs so you can see exactly what we're talking about here loft-wise. So we've got, starting at the 2 hybrid, 17 degree, 20 on the 3, 23. This hasn't changed. These lofts are the same as they were in the G430s. Going all the way up to your 7 hybrid, which is 34 degrees. Swing weight's all D1, and these are your equivalent irons, which won't surprise you. Basically, I think, again, there's a lot of confusion with some golfers to what a hybrid is. A hybrid is basically a swap out for what the iron used to be. So, you know, we're no longer carrying 2 irons and 3 irons, or the majority of us aren't. So you've got like for like on the irons, and then when you get into the equivalent fairway wood, a 2 hybrid's equivalent to a 5 wood, a 3 hybrid's equivalent to a 7 wood, and a 4 hybrid's equivalent to a 9 wood. Now, you don't see too many people hitting 9 woods, but 7 woods definitely coming back in. Yesterday here in the UK, I was watching the Dubai Desert Classic, and Tyrrell Hatton won that. Ping player, plays on live, but still a Ping player. And he's been carrying a 7 wood for ages. And I think his fairway wood he was using yesterday was a G440. I'm not sure about the hybrid that he used, but sorry, the 7 wood, but definitely one of the fairway woods was G440. So there we go. Lots of shaft options. If you want to quickly just have a little peek at what shafts we can put in these hybrids. We've got the standard Alta CB, which for most golfers works really well in soft, regular, and stiff. The Tour Black is aimed more at faster club speeds, lower ball flight, very good shaft, as is the Tour Chrome. And then we've got a new Tenside Black, which has come into the range. That's very low launching. And a new Project X Denali Red, which again is great. So, you know, and the Alta Quick down here at the bottom, look at the weight of this, 38 grams and 42 grams for the high ball flight for the golfer who wants to get a bit more height because they've got low club speed. 6 different grip sizes. We can customize the grip size to suit the size of the golfer's hand. Tour Velvet Cord is an upchargeable grip in the UK, and in my experience isn't a very good grip. It wears out really quickly, and you pay about another £8-9 per club to have that fitted. So I tend to talk people out of that one. I think that's all we got to talk about. Shall we set one of these up? I think we'll put together maybe a 3, maybe a 4. I think I'll go with a 3 actually, and we'll have a little hit and see how it performs. Stay with me. Okay, everybody, I've put together a G440 3 Hybrid, 20 degrees of loft, and I've just left this in its stock loft. I can go up 1 or 1.5 degrees in loft or down in the same. And I've just put the stock shaft in the Alta CB 70 in stiff. I think the cosmetics of the new range looks great. You know, we've gone back to blue, which we saw, blue and black. We saw that originally, let me think, in the G30 and the G. And so they've gone back to that sort of colourway, which I think is lovely. A lot of people are going to like it. And we're going to hit a few. Let me explain what we've got. I've got a tee shot here. I've got a hole of, where am I? I'm at Kinsale Golf Club in Ireland, 5th hole. It's quite a short par 4, 330 yards. It's the sort of hole where I'd probably want to hit a hybrid just for position. I'm looking to maybe just find the fairway, put the ball out there, 210, 220, leave myself a nice little wedge shot in. It's quite a narrow sort of shot, and it's not the sort of hole where I'd want to risk hitting a driver. It's you know, it's too much risk. If I hit a driver left or right, I'm going to be in the trees. So perfect situation for me to hit the little hybrid here. Give you a little overhead from above. Looks great. There's just that one single little dot on the top there as your alignment mark. So yeah, very unfussy as you look down on it. Let's have a little hit and see what goes on. So there we go. I've only hit about 6 shots in warm-up, I've got to be honest, so I'm not kind of fully there. It's a Monday morning as well, and it's, time is it? It's quite early, 10 to 8 in the morning. So, you know, I'm going from cold a little bit here. My dot's fallen off the club face, so we'll work on ball speeds here. We've got enough information for this to be relevant. So ball speed of 122 miles an hour, launching at 17.5, spinning at just under 3,000, 197 carry. Predicted run out on that obviously depends a little bit on ground conditions, hard or soft. The sim at the moment set to kind of summer conditions. So I've got a total distance there of 218 yards, and I'm smack bang in the middle of the fairway with 109 yards to the flag, which would be a nice little gap wedge. So did exactly what I wanted it to do. It feels, I mean, does it feel much different to the G430? No, and I think if you've got G430, would I recommend to my customers to change the 440? Well, probably not, unless you've got maybe the 3 or the 4 and you're really struggling with the overdraw, then yeah, it might be a case for it. But, you know, remember the changes on these clubs are minimal. They're not groundbreaking, they're just minimal tweaks. So, you know, don't be not that Ping try and sell it on this, but don't be too sucked in to think that, you know, the latest model is absolutely game changing. Now, if you were going back a couple of generations to maybe if you were using a G30, a G400, and possibly even a G410, you may see some differences in performance with this G440. But I think if you only go back one generation, you're not going to see much in it, is my honest opinion. Let's hit another one. Well, that felt really good. Hard to determine the sound indoors because you get obviously echoes and things like that. But it has a really nice, solid feel and noise to it. That was really nice. 128 ball speed, launching at 15. I'm a low ball launcher, spinning again, very similar to the last one. 210 through the air, running out to 233. Got 95 yards left to the flag to attack that hole. This is a cracking club, folks. I mean, for me, hybrids are just no-brainers. And it's a very neutral ball flight. Wow, look at that. Just turn that one over a little bit. Should be quite playable though if you convert that into the real world. I've just picked up the first cut down the left, but very, very consistent. I think they were quite centered strikes, those last 3 shots, and I think they have picked up a little bit more ball speed over the G430, but you can kind of see what it does. What else do we like generally about this club? Well, as with all hybrids, they're very flexible. You can dig these things out of semi-rough. You can dig them off bare lies. They're just very playable on the off-centre hits. So this is a real winner. I really like it. I love the minimalist look of it. Price-wise, it's very good. They've kept the prices here in the UK the same. The driver's gone up in price. The driver's going to be around about £525. You may see some retailers doing that at $499 to $525. Fairway woods are staying at $299, and the hybrid, I think you'll see this running out $269, $279, may come down to $259, who knows. So I think that represents quite good value for money. Golf clubs have gone up in price. This is the general theme of everything, but you know, at sort of $269 for one of these, great little club. Really like it. So there we go. That's my little review on the Ping G440 Hybrids. Any of you tried it? Any of you thinking about changing from whatever you're using to one of these? As always, my best advice there, go and get fitted. Get to your local Ping Custom Fit Centre. Go through the motions. Have a little look at the shaft options. And you're on a winner. That's great. Thank you very much for watching my video today. Post comments down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give me a little thumbs up if you like the video. It just helps. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.